We're getting ready to go.
Go.
Are you ready to go?
Ready to go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, I'm trying to live until I die. Come connect, you know it's a lewd state of mind. Yeah. Talking traveling, if you wanna fly. Fitness and finance, living a better life. Keep it raw, no filter. Living with no limit. Thank you for tuning in. Come on, let's get it.
Peter,
Brendan.
welcome back, mate. It's
you.
so good to have you back. You were here 2 years ago. Who were you here with?
Justin Kibble.
Justin.
Yes, he was your guide.
Shout out to Justin.
Yes.
He took me to Kokoda and back safely.
Well, he didn't take you to Kokoda and back. He just took you one way.
True. Yeah.
Just
That
be
sounds like
technical.
I did it. I went,
You didn't do like back to back.
yeah.
You just did one way.
And there is two ways to do it. Is that correct? There's the front way and the back way.
Are you still talking about Kokoda?
It's going to be like that, is it? Is that how?
No, you're saying it, not me.
Okay, well let's just stop there for a second. Have you heard of Buckfast? Do you know what Buckfast is?
No, tell me about it.
Buckfast. It's a tonic wine, right?
Oh, this is this.
You've got some right in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
So
Is this the stuff you've been feeding me?
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to Buckfast.
Yeah, Buckfast.
Cheers,
It's actually delicious.
cheers to No Roads.
Yeah.
Cheers to Rob and Joe.
I was a bit reticent to have it after you told me what it was.
Oh,
And then put some ice in it. It's like,
it's gorgeous.
I
It's
might have
gorgeous.
some this afternoon.
I call it my speaking juice.
Oh,
Yeah.
not that you need any help with that.
Well, sometimes I do.
Do you really?
Sometimes I do.
I've never known.
I can talk the legs off a chair, mate, if I want to. Hey, man, it is good to have you back. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. I really appreciate. I know you're a busy man, and you're hard to lock down. But you were saying that you've because I asked you how many months of the year you travel.
Yeah.
So, well, let's just back it up a little bit because
Yeah.
people don't know if they haven't already seen you on the podcast. They
Yeah.
don't know who you are and what do you do.
Yeah. Well,
No Roads. What's No Roads all about?
it's a adventure travel company, Melbourne based, and yeah, we take people to places like Kokoda, Everest. We do Europe, like Tour de Mont Blanc, and then we do other like sea kayaking in the Komodo Islands in Indonesia,
Wow.
and then we might talk about these a little bit later, but
Oh,
we
for
go
sure.
to Japan and La Reunion and Slovenia and all these great trips.
Well, hold on a second. Let's have a look at exactly where you go. I've got a list here. So you do trips to Canada, Slovenia, France, Italy, Indonesia, PNG. You do Australia and New Zealand, of course. Sri Lanka, Nepal, Peru, Morocco, Timor, Japan, my favourite place. Tanzania, Ecuador, Greece, Chile, and La Reunion.
Yeah, which is technically France.
Yes, we're going to
We can talk about that.
we're going to map that up in a minute.
Yep.
And Georgia. So you go to 20 locations.
Do we?
20. Where did it all start for you?
It started in Indonesia. So I used to be a fireman, professional metropolitan firefighter,
Did you ever appear,
aka hero.
Did you ever appear on a calendar? Did you ever get your gear off for a calendar?
No.
I think I asked you this last time too.
I got my gear off for far less than the calendar. But
Were they paid gigs after hours, were they?
yeah, just a gigolo.
Did they allow you to take the gear away at night so that you could do night work with it?
Yeah, you can take stuff home.
The helmet and the overalls?
You could do that, I guess, if you're into that.
I
sort
can
of
just
thing.
imagine you with
No,
a
no,
little
no.
red pair of budgie
Yeah,
smugglers.
if you want to imagine me like that, Brendan, I'm starting to question you. But so that's where I started as a young man.
Metro 5?
Metro, MFB,
Yep.
it's now called the Victorian, I don't know what it's called, it's merged with the CFA. And, but I'd always travelled to all of these places that you mentioned as a backpacker and as a sort of adventure sort of person. And, I wanted to get back into it, and so I took a couple of guys from the fire brigade and they loved it. And
Where'd you take them first? Where'd you take them?
I took them to Lombok, which is
So it's just
right
off
near
Bali,
Yeah.
yeah.
So back then, no one knew where Lombok is, but because you knew exactly where it was.
That's
now
the shitty
it's-
thing about it. Yeah, everybody
everyone knows,
fucking knows, yeah.
And up to the top of Mount Rinjani, which is nearly 4,000 metres. It's an amazing track. And so we took them up there and they had a great time, and we did a little film on it, and then other people saw the film and said, "Oh, I'd like to go there too." And then the guys who I took to Rinjani said, "What's next?" So I said, "Well, let's go to Kokoda." So we did Kokoda, and then before you knew it, I got business.
Wow.
It was an accident.
Well,
It's like champagne, blue cheese. They were all accidents.
that's
It'll
a
be
perfect pairing,
champagne,
isn't it? Yeah.
blue cheese, and no roads. People mention it all the time in history.
Unbelievable.
The three great accidents.
Surely you've got a T-shirt with those three elements on it.
I should.
I was looking at
That's not a bad idea.
I was looking at your online store earlier, actually. So were you one of the first to do Kokoda, or
No.
It was already established when the trekking was established. What year are
Yeah.
we talking here, mate?
2006 was the first one, but there were already a couple of companies. So, but we weren't the first, but we were one of the first. So there was already a couple of guys doing it in the late 1990s, I guess. And then, and then it really took off in 2008, sort of hit its pinnacle, and then it sort of dropped off, and now it's sort of plateauing around 2,000 people a year or something like that.
Hey, question for you. There's been some press about the PNG Trail and the government and permission to trek it.
Yeah.
Explain to me what's been happening with that.
So you would have crossed it. There's a creek called Offie Creek,
I remember.
and sort of nearly to the end of the trail towards Port Moresby. And what year did you do it?
I'm pretty sure it was 2014.
Okay, so maybe, I'm not sure exactly when it happened, but just up from Offie Creek was a mine, a gold mine, and the tailings would come down Offie Creek, and it made the creek quite milky and not very nice to swim in. Anyway, they thought, and that was just wasn't a big mine. They were looking.
Was it a working mine? It was a working mine?
It was an exploratory mine, so they were looking at expanding it.
Yep.
And then the PNG government, Australian government, said, "Hey, listen, we don't want you to do it because we've got this Kokoda track crossing here." And the landowner said, "Well, we can make millions out of the gold. We want compensation." So they were offered 40 million kina, I think it was, which is $20 million.
Yep.
The village of Naro, which you would have stayed in.
Yes.
It's up on the hill. And they own that land. And so they were offered 40 million kina, but they never saw the money.
Why not?
Well, because PNG government's broke half the time. And so after, they were pretty patient. Like, it would have been like 10 or 11 years they've been waiting for this money, and then they just had enough. This was last September. So they closed the track. So you could walk all the way from Kokoda to Naro, which is about 4 days, 4.5 days.
Yep.
But then you wouldn't be able to go any further. So they closed the track. So the end of the season last year was finished. And
did that impact you?
Yeah, we had a few trips. Yeah, we had a few trips. So they couldn't go. And so the government finally went and spoke to them and agreed to pay the money.
So it's been paid?
Well, that's the question,
It's in the
right?
process of being paid.
So they said, yeah, no worries, we'll open the track. But by that stage, the season had finished. So now, and they were meant to have been paid like in December or January, and they still hadn't paid. And there was talk a couple of weeks ago about, we're going to close the track again. But apparently they got paid 2 days ago.
Nice.
So
Well,
I
good
don't
for
know
them.
if it was the full amount. I think they were getting paid in increments. But yeah, so it's open. Kokoda's open. It was completely non-violent, by the way. So it was a peaceful closure.
Did the press make it out to be more than what it was? As you're saying, with regards to violence or potential violence from villagers?
I'm not sure. I think if the press sees guys walking around with big bush knives, they get intimidated. But these are tools that guys use to thrash, vines and
Exactly,
and
they're
crops
tools.
and stuff. Yeah,
They're tools.
So they're not. It was non-aggressive. It was very inconvenient though, because it stopped quite a few treks. So because it started in September, so September, October, November, it's still quite a busy time.
So
Yep.
is that peak for you guys, or is it tail end?
No, peak is April, Anzac Day, and
Of
then
course.
King's birthday. Is that June?
Yeah, it's somewhere in there. It's Kings now, isn't it?
King.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Valet Queenie.
Yeah. And then school holidays.
Yeah.
It's busy.
Yeah.
So it's sort of petering off. We had 3 trips that were cancelled because of it. But yeah, it's open again.
Great.
So, which is really good.
Yeah.
So get out there.
For those
Dakota's
people,
still one of the great stories.
oh, for sure. It's a great story. It's a great adventure. And I highly advise anybody to do it.
Yeah.
Anybody and everybody, and sure, you've got to have a certain level of fitness, but, it's the one thing about Leeward is that we're just saying, like, live your life, do shit while you can, because you get older, you get lamer, you get fatter, you get slower,
I'll tell you a story. So we had a whole heap of bookings for Kokoda for 2020, yeah? And then, of course, we couldn't do Kokoda because of COVID.
Yep.
So you have like 100 people or 120 people wanting to do Kokoda. And come out of COVID, how many of them have gone back to do Kokoda?
What do you reckon? What's the stats?
Maybe
20%?
20%.
That's sad, isn't it?
It's sad.
You know why? Because they bought fucking caravans, and now they've got caravans sitting in their backyards with their wives going, why aren't we using the caravan?
Yeah, and they're also thinking, oh, I'm too old. So it sort of plays back to what you were just saying, do stuff that you can do now.
Yeah, exactly.
When you can, right?
Yeah, don't put it off for tomorrow.
No.
No.
Especially a trip like Kokoda, right? I think I told you, I tell everybody this. Kokoda, as far as a beautiful trek and all that sort of stuff, is not up there. I don't think. Like, there's more beautiful places in the world to trek, right? But
There's something else to it, though.
yeah, for an Australian,
Yes.
right, there's a connection, a direct connection with our identity, our existence here in Australia. And when you walk it, it's an emotional connection to it.
Oh, definitely.
Like nothing else, right?
Well, even from my point of view as a Kiwi, we got to that. We got to the end.
Forgive you.
Oh, we're just going to cut it there, Matt. That's
That's it.
Pete's leaving. We got to that cemetery at the end, and you can't help but feel the emotion of what went on, especially after doing that trek, and just the. It wasn't just sheer exhaustion. It was just that there was a lot of emotion. It's generated in you through the whole journey, because you're told stories throughout that journey of what happened at these places and why this is important.
Yeah.
And, it can't help but tug on your heartstrings, man.
Yeah, especially if you get a story told of an individual,
For sure.
and then you can relate to it. Like a young guy, like 18 or 19, you think, oh, I've got a son that old, or I know someone like that, or I used to be that old, and how would I have reacted,
But even the Japanese, and you told stories about the troops dragging these big cannon barrels, which are over 120, 150 kgs, up these tracks, and they were muddy, and you can't fathom what their existence was like, So you've got to look at both sides of the
absolutely.
coin. I mean,
there was two stories.
Yeah, exactly. But it's part of our Australians' freedom. It was part of the war story. And as you say, as an Australian, if you can, you should experience it.
Yeah, and that's why it's such an amazing trek. So no other trek I've been on do people cry on.
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they do because
Unless
they're exhausted.
Unless they've been drinking
Oh, we're
gin.
lost. We're going to die. Other than that, that people don't get emotional.
No.
But on Kokoda they do, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and it burns deep in their heart and their soul
I
when they
welled up.
return home. And everybody comes home just raving about it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. I welled up. Hey, you got a present for me?
I do. It's sort of Kokoda related.
Oh, nice. I thought it was topical.
These are these new socks by Steigen. Anyway, it's a Kokoda commemorative sock.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And they have a 100% guarantee, won't blister.
Really?
Well,
that's a bold claim, isn't it?
Money back guarantee, they say.
That's a bold.
The problem I have with that guarantee is you're halfway down Kokoda and you start blistering. Well, who cares about $20?
$20 is cheap.
I don't know how much
Maybe.
they are.
That's good. Hey, thanks, man. That's awesome.
It's got 1942 on it.
You know where they're going, eh? They're going up on the man cave wall.
Oh.
We're going to hang those. That's what that's for.
Oh, is it?
Thank you. Actually, you're
I meant
probably
to go on your feet. But
you're one of the only guests that's actually brought me a present. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I've learned to, bribe people. So
Well, the one thing that I learned about Kokoda is that socks in your feet are very important. And
most important.
And the one piece of advice I did not get before I went was take 8 pairs of fresh socks, so you've got 1 pair every day. I did not get that advice. Unfortunately, I learnt it after the fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody's listening, if you're going to do Kokoda,
8 pairs of socks.
1 fresh pair of socks per day. Highly advised, because your feet, as you say.
Brendan owns a sock company.
I'd love to. Maybe these guys can sponsor me, which was
Not a bad idea.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess 8 pairs. What about 8 pairs of jocks?
Oh yeah. Oh, plus 2 just in case you shit your pants, because that might
That
happen.
happens.
I tell you what, it's a 90% chance that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Hey, enough about Kokoda. Oh, actually, no.
What?
Question for you. I had an incident on probably about the third day, sorry, we were 3 days from the end, going through this swampy area, and I slipped and fell, and I fell.
You got an infection.
No,
And it's still with you.
I wonder what that pus was from. No, I fell on a tree stump spike that was about this round, and it had broken off, and I fell on my side on it.
Yeah.
But luckily, because I was carrying a pack, I had the pack with the big fat thing.
And it stabbed into that.
It stabbed into that.
You're lucky.
I know. Have you? I am lucky, because I reckon it would have gone through me.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any incidents? What's the most peril you've been in? Peril.
Not apparel.
No,
Peril.
Yeah.
Physical peril.
What do you got? You got a story? You got to have it. I mean, you've done a lot of adventure. You've done a lot of trekking. I mean, have you cheated death?
I have cheated death.
How many times? Are we counting?
Couple.
Couple.
And you know what? It's always to do with people. Like the threat of people.
The threat of people.
Yeah. Killing you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit. So
it's not like I didn't get. It's not like me dying on the mountain alone, or the weather came in. And although there's a couple of those situations, but it's normally about people.
people can be dicks, can't they?
They can be.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one occasion that didn't involve people, but it involved me being silly or arrogant about being out in nature and thinking, oh, I don't need to be on my guard.
Yep.
So I was in East Timor and hiking through the central part of East Timor, and there's a mountain called Mount Ramalau, which is the highest peak in East Timor.
Were you by yourself or with a group?
I was with a guide.
Yeah.
No, it was just me and a guide. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was beautiful blue sky. We had our campsite some way away, and we thought, well, we'll just go to the top and back. Anyway, so I had, I think I just had a bottle of water with me, and I had shorts and a t-shirt because it was a beautiful sunny day.
Oh, fatal mistake.
Fatal mistake. And it wasn't far, Brendan.
How far are we talking? A couple of Ks, 5 Ks?
Yeah. It was a couple of Ks
Yeah.
up, a couple of Ks back,
Yeah.
yeah. So not very far. I could see it from our campsite. It's just there.
Yeah, but it's got elevation.
Yeah. So started hiking. The guide was taking his time. I said, I'll go ahead. So started going ahead. And then the sun disappeared, the clouds came in, and then I'm up near the top of the mountain, and there's this huge cloud bank comes in, and all of a sudden visibility is down to about 2 meters.
Wow.
And I'm by myself in shorts at over 3,000 meters.
Disorientated or?
Completely.
Oh,
so I got to the
fuck.
top, and there's a big statue of Mary up there, and so I could just see the silhouette of her. And fog or cloud also absorbs sound. So if you yell,
Yes.
it doesn't go very far because it's the molecules in the air absorb it. Pardon me. So I'm calling out to the guide, and he couldn't hear me, and he's probably calling out to me, and I couldn't hear him. And it's freezing now, and it's gone dark because there's so much cloud.
Yeah.
Um,
Scary.
yeah, I was freezing, and I was up there for about 3 hours. The question was, should I try to go down or stay? And this is what happened to this guy in Kosciuszko. You know, the guy a couple of weeks ago that
No, I didn't hear about that.
What?
No.
it was all over the news, Brendan.
Was it? Not my
What
news.
sort of news
Not
do you
my news
consume?
feed. Was it on TikTok?
No,
I get all my news from TikTok, mate.
this
Yeah.
guy, he was with a group on the Kosciuszko Kosciuszko National Park.
Yep.
Who's saying something? I've forgotten his name. And his group walked off, and he said, I'm just going to go down and take a photo. He went down, took a photo, and somehow got disorientated and lost. And he was gone for 14 days.
Fuck.
And he
They
went.
found him alive, eh?
Yeah, they found him alive. He got to a hut, and someone had left a couple of muesli bars in the hut just
Lucky
for
him.
people. So
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's mostly water you need. So,
Yeah.
and there was plenty of fresh water. Anyway, finally, another group found him. The search and rescue didn't find him. There was another group of hikers saw him down this gully or something and found him, and he thought he'd been gone for like 8 or 9 days, and it
was 14.
14 and stuff.
Far out. He's a lucky son of a bitch, isn't
And
he?
this is the question. This is the thing, though, I was trying to get to, in a very long way. Is the problem he had was he kept moving. You see,
So you're saying the
If
thing
you
to do
get
is
lost,
just to stay.
stay.
Just stay where you are.
just
But that's the thing is like
because you think you can get out.
if you've got no shelter though, are you,
Oh well, then you need to take all of that into consideration.
okay,
Yeah?
all right. So yeah,
But generally speaking, just the best decision is just to stop.
and that's exactly what you did up on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I had a top of a mountain, and thought, oh, well, the guide will come up to find me. But he got a little bit lost too because it was really disorientating.
So there's no beaten path up there.
There is,
Yeah.
but it was so thick with cloud you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And around the top of the summit, there's lots of little trails. off
Right.
it.
So it's like which one do you go?
Yeah, I didn't know which way, north, south, east, west, or what is. I didn't have a phone. Didn't have I was very arrogant about it all.
When was this?
Oh,
We're talking a decade. ago.
2008.
Yeah.
So a long time ago.
He's just a young buck.
Yeah, I was younger
been
than
like 20,
yeah, It was a bit
21,
stupid.
22.
I thought, oh my god, is this how I'm going to go?
Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, it was a bit stupid, wasn't it? But I was really cold. I thought, oh, because exposure is a big one,
Oh, for sure. Yep.
So anyway, needless to say, I'm here, Brendan. I
Look
survived.
at you. You're thriving. You're surviving and thriving.
I survived. So there we go. But the other times, people, aggressive people.
Well, tell me that other story then. What was,
Well, this is in Papua New Guinea, and I want to let everyone know that PNG is actually a very safe place.
is it?
Generally speaking, it is. If you go off the beaten, like if you go out in Port Moresby to certain areas, then it becomes unsafe. A little bit like Melbourne or Sydney.
Yeah.
If you go to certain places,
Yep,
right?
For sure.
Right. So you need to be a bit aware. Yeah. Anyway, but there are parts of PNG that are not. But Kokoda, for example, is a very safe place. Nothing's ever happened on the Kokoda track, but people always associate anything that happens in PNG must affect Kokoda, right? But
Of
it's
course,
not,
yeah, yeah.
right?
What's a natural?
Anyway, so I was up in the highlands in a place called Mount Sarawugat. It's a 4,000 metre peak. And I was actually there with a foundation, the No Roads Expeditions Foundation. And we were going to take nurses and doctors up to administer health care for these really remote villages, right?
Yeah.
And so I was just there with one of the other board members, and we were just doing a recce, just to see if it was safe. And we were having a great time. We were setting up already these trails, in between the villages and all this sort of stuff for us to go to. But we went up to this one village called Iloko, and they had a problem with a village called Kororo, and we didn't know this. No one told us.
Well, how would you know?
Well, we should have known because the guy from Kororo, who was my contact, should have told me, but he didn't tell me.
Okay. So somebody did know, but it didn't. They
Yeah,
didn't
they
pass the information on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fault number one, isn't it?
The villages of Kororo and Iloko, the people, they intermarry. So there was some people living in Iloko from Kororo, right? Anyway, we go into Iloko. It's all misty. It's a bit of a theme here. Misty. And we get sort of ushered behind this thatched wall in this village in between two huts. and they were doing this little ceremony, welcome ceremony. I thought, oh, that's nice, but there's not many other villages here. And all of a sudden I can hear a bit of a kerfuffle behind us, behind the thatching. And then all of a sudden, boom, shotgun fire, rifle
Shotgun.
fire.
Oh.
And then, arrows flying, hitting the thatching behind us.
Fuck.
Guys running from below us with huge longbows, like the bows were this long.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
The arrows were like just as long, running through the gate. It was a war behind us.
From the two villages.
Yeah,
But even though you said that they do get on and intermarry.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell
who
you.
was
I'll
who
get
was
to the-
sleeping
I'll
with
get
who?
to- Oh, it was much worse than that.
Oh, whoa.
So they've rushed us. Oh, they were going to rush us down to the river and then get us to walk along the river. But the guy said, no, don't go there. They'll surround us.
Yeah.
And then they put us up into one of the huts on the stilts, and we're just sitting on the floor. There's no furniture in there. We're just sitting on the floor, and you could just hear this battle. Literally from me to like 10 meters away, there's a battle raging outside. And I'm looking at the other board member. He's looking at me going, what the hell, are we going to die? And then one of my mates, Jack Day, who's our operations manager in PNG, he's sort of the guy who fixes everything for us.
The
Amazing
fixer?
man.
The
He's a
fixer?
Yep. He said, look, I'm going to go down and talk to them.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, God, okay. So he goes down, comes back half an hour later. I didn't know if he survived. Comes back half an hour, he goes, we're going, but we have to go now. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, I didn't need any convincing, did I?
No.
So we walked down, get into the troop carriers, and we could only drive out at the speed of the Iloko leader who was walking in front of us.
Right.
So we had to walk
So we've
through
been
really
guided out.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're driving through like at walking pace, and there's hundreds of young guys, and the young guys are very volatile, all misty. I could just see these young Papuans going like this out the window of the troopy. And I'm thinking, if an arrow comes through and hits my driver, I'm kicking him out
And fucking blast
a
them.
la Raiders of the Lost Ark style.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to put the foot on the accelerator, run their leader over and get the... There's all these things going.
Wow, that's insane.
And then, so after what seemed to be an eternity, maybe it was only 5 minutes, we drive out, and then he moves to the side and we hightail it out. So what had happened, this is post-COVID, right? So what had happened during the COVID period was some of the warriors from Kororo came down to Iloko and murdered in their hut 2 of Iloko's best warriors, and then burnt their hut down with the warrior inside.
Was there a reason why they did that?
There would have been, but I have no idea.
Nobody
why.
knows. Nobody knows.
Well, they know. I don't know.
Okay.
And then they hadn't paid retribution. Like if you do that, you can sort of pay the other village or the wife or the family money, and there's retribution for what you did.
Well, compensation is what you're saying.
Sorry, not
yeah, yeah,
retribution.
yeah.
Compensation.
So you
for-
can quite easily go kill somebody, burn their hut down, and then just pay some money and it'll all go away.
Possibly. I mean, there might be some more to it, but
Yeah.
And of course, they didn't have the money because they're a poor village. So normally the government steps in,
To
To-
fix it,
to
fix the
fix it.
problem. Yeah.
and it hadn't been done.
Wow.
That would have been nice for them to tell us, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Shit.
That was close.
Mate, if that was a movie, if they made a movie, who would play you? Who do you reckon would...
Well, looking at the camera, everyone would say Hugh Jackman, of course, or Chris.
Shout out to Hugh.
Chris
Don't say
Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. No. Actually, Chris Hemsworth would sell tickets.
I'm thinking Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean.
No, I reckon Chris would... Yeah, we'll go with Chris Hemsworth.
No. He's too handsome. Although they do always have a very handsome actor.
Oh, that's how you sell... that's how you put bums on
Bums
seats,
on
mate.
seats, yeah,
Bums
yeah,
on
yeah.
seats. Wow.
Oh, I'm happy with Sam or Hugh.
Yeah.
I've met Hugh Jackman quite a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when I was a fireman, I used to work at the Princess Theatre for the show Beauty and the Beast when he was in it. He was Gaston,
Oh, he was too.
yeah, and they had pyrotechnics on the show, so they had to have a fireman
You were just there
with a fire extinguisher.
making sure shit didn't go up in
Yeah.
flames.
So the actors would come and I was,
Yeah,
off
backstage,
stage,
yeah.
side of the stage, and they would come down and normally not just before they went on, they'd come down a few minutes beforehand, and we'd have a chat every now and then. Hugh Jackman, of course, when he talks, he says, "Oh, I know Pete Miller. I met Pete Miller.
Of course he
several
says
times
that.
at Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I'm sure he does.
Can you get him on the podcast? Oh no, we said we don't
You
want
can't
famous
have
people.
famous people.
That's right. I was finishing
I
explaining
could
that
just
to
give
you.
him a call. He's at my house at the moment.
Well, I think you're getting into the famous category now. I don't think you're going to be able to come back after this one, Pete.
No. So Hugh, if you want to play me, I'll accept that.
I'll get the script sorted out. I'll produce it. How's that? Let's
good
make
idea.
some money out of it.
Just put the script in, type a few words into ChatGPT, and then
Yeah.
I'll come up with a script.
We'll AI the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's easy. I've already got it playing out in my head. That was like when you described in the troop. What do you call them? A troop mover.
Troop carrier.
Yeah, troop carriers. Because I remember sitting in the back of those on the first day of Kokoda going, where the fuck are we going?
Yeah.
You know, with half a bottle of water and a sore ass on a wooden
Yes.
seat.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
So there you go.
that's
And there's lots of other little bits and pieces.
that's an awesome story, man. You've done a lot of shit. How many countries you been to? You've been to all 50, how many?
No.
50, is he 52?
Countries, no, there's 197
Oh,
or
is there?
something, or
What am I
205
thinking?
or something. Yeah. No, do you know what? A lot of people ask me that. Oh, geez, you travelled everywhere. No, I haven't. Because I keep going back to the same places all the time.
That's not a bad thing, though.
I do go into, do a new trip every year or go to a new country or whatever. But generally speaking, no, I love going to the same places. Because when you go to a place, and it's your first time, you're like this,
Yep.
and you've got to go, I've got to go see this and that, and where are we going to eat? Because I have no idea, and oh god, that was disappointing, and and then before you know it, you're out and you're going to the next place doing, well, I don't have that problem because I go back to the same places all the time. Like for example, when we go to Europe for the Dolomites trip, it starts and finishes in the most amazing town called Verona. Yeah, it's a
Gorgeous.
very romantic town.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It's one of those forgotten towns, yeah, and but it's absolutely beautiful, but I know it like the back of my hand now. I know the best places to go to eat and the best little patisserie, and I can just see everything now. You know what I mean? Like I'm relaxed.
Yeah. Well, you're fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do that, which
Yeah.
is great. And you can understand. The one thing I don't get is that you see these families going back to these same holiday destinations year after year after year after year, and they've got the same week book or the same 2 weeks booked out. I don't get that.
No.
I don't get that. I mean, it's a little bit different to say me going snowboarding in Japan.
Yeah,
7 to 10 or 14 days every February or March.
yeah,
But yeah, as you say, you've earned the right to find these little pockets in the world that provide you everything. They satisfy you, and I think that's what everybody wants to be. Is they want to be happy and content.
yes,
And that provides that for you.
yeah. I
So
mean,
how
if people
did-
want to rush around, that's fine. But one bit of advice I give to people is if they're going to a place like Europe, for example, or the US, don't try to do it all.
No, not first time round.
No, just, if you don't get to see it all and never go back again, that's fine. But at least you'll really enjoy the bits you've seen. So, like if you're going to the US, you'd spend 5 or 6 days in San Fran or New York. Don't just do 2 or 3 days, do a week. There's a lot of stuff to love to see and do, and you stay in the same place, and, you just get familiar with it. I love that sort of stuff.
The good thing about the internet is it provides travellers with a lot of valuable information
Oh, yeah.
that they didn't already know.
Yeah.
Like, as you say, if you're planning a trip, there's plenty of advice as to how long to stay somewhere,
Yeah.
where to go, where not to go. But the one thing I find with travel is that I will not be given advice like TripAdvisor or Google as to where to eat or no, exactly. Well, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to find the place down the side street that the locals are eating at.
Yeah.
That's not going to have a Google review. It's not going to be
when
on.
you go to a place, so let's say Verona, for example, you're booked into a hotel, ask the guy at the desk, oh, what's a really good place to eat?
They'll know.
Yeah, they'll know,
The locals know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And then, oh, wow, okay, thanks. And if it's a bad one, then you say, oh, he hasn't got very good taste, has he? But if you're there for a week, then you can make 1 or 2 mistakes.
Oh, look, it's
Can't
going to
you?
happen. That's the thing. I mean,
And that's a bit of the excitement
yeah,
about
look,
it all too.
that's part of travelling. You
Yeah.
know, it's like sure you've got great expectations of how how awesome everything's going to be, you're going to have those shitty travel days. You're going to have those bad meals, you know. But you learn and grow from those. I mean, that's what traveling's all about. That's what traveling's all about.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
Out of these 20 locations that you trek to, how many have you been? Have you been to all of them? You've done all 20.
Yeah.
Now, so my question to you was that, so you're operating no roads in another country, offering travel services. What sort of permissions or permits do you need for certain locations? Does it vary from country to country? Are you paying for the pleasure to offer these services?
Yeah. So originally, like for PNG and Indonesia, we were we had our own operations, so our own businesses there. But we realised that it's not very efficient, and
Well, logistically, it's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it?
yeah, it's a nightmare, and tax is a big issue, and so. But now I have friends in all of these, or most of the locations that are in the industry, and so we just use their companies. So we might have set up, so PNG, it is effectively our operation. Like we own all of the tents and all the equipment.
Yep.
But we use Jack and Terence, who are their operations managers, but they have their own company. So
Right.
we operate through their company.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's how it works in Indonesia and Nepal. And so you just got to find the right people.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in other places, like, for example, Peru, we'll use a local company who we're friends with that who have a similar ethos to
Right.
us and a similar standard of travel. So we're not a budget operator. We're more of a higher end operator now.
Yeah.
And so, you need to find someone who's going to offer that to your
That level
to
of
your
service.
guests,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's been a lot of hard work over a lot of years to establish that, or is it?
Well, it's
does
not-
it come easy, or
Yeah, it comes easy. It's not
Yeah.
hard work. I mean, if you love it, it's easy, right?
Oh, for sure, you live in the dream.
I haven't really worked a day in my life.
No,
Maybe.
bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's
jealous.
the secret, right?
Of course.
Seinfeld, he was on YouTube the other day or Facebook, and he said he had a little coffee maker, like a little stovetop coffee thing, and he said life is about wasting your time with the things you love doing.
That's perfect.
I love it.
That is perfect.
And he said, I love this.
Yeah.
You know, I love taking it and cleaning it and then making a coffee. And he says, because we try to save time all our life, and then by the time we've saved it all, we've got no time left.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so true. So true. But
So try to do it. Like, it's not, I'm lucky.
yeah, you are.
I am lucky. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I pursued it. I pursued what I love doing. Some people don't pursue it. They know what they love doing, but they still don't pursue it.
Yeah. Well, there's doers and there's sayers in there. You know. Yeah. But as you say, you are living the dream. Ultimately, that's what everybody strives for. But sometimes it's not the reality. But if you think about it, if you really want to do it and you put your mind to it, anything's possible.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah, absolutely.
great advice.
Yeah, no, I think it's true.
Great advice.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
What are you going to have?
Let's see what's in the bar.
This is not the afternoon, by the way, everybody. This is the morning.
Oh,
I think it's pre-noon.
It's the
Saturday morning
It's the afternoon somewhere,
in New
mate.
Zealand, where you're from. Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm on NZ time. There you go.
Oh, fair enough.
Cheers, Asahi.
Cheers. Oh, that's very good beer, but I'm having water. I hope.
Tasty.
Spicy.
You've been busy.
Been really busy. So post-COVID, it's been very good. You know, so everyone's been travelling and
What are the highlights for you? You've got a couple of new locations. I noticed you're doing a trip to Japan,
yeah,
my favourite place.
started that a couple of years ago.
Oh, so it's not new? No?
I started a couple of years ago, but it's pretty relatively new. So a lot of people go to Japan. They go skiing like you. Hokkaido, yeah? Did you go? Hokkaido,
Yeah, up north. Yeah.
So, and a lot of people go to Japan. They do Kyoto and
Osaka, of course.
Tokyo.
Yep. So they should.
Fantastic.
So they should.
Fantastic. But but Japan is a very city-based trip.
Yeah.
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 But actually, there's a lot of nature in in Japan. And so that's what we do. So we go into Tokyo, spend a couple of days there, and then we're up in the Alps, Japanese Alps. So these are 3,000 meter peaks, rugged peaks,
Yeah.
right through the spine.
This is the main island.
Yeah, the main island. Yeah. And snow covered in winter, but in summer. So from the start of June to September-ish, there's hiking. And they're fantastic because they've set them up a little bit like the Europeans. They've got these chalets,
Cool.
mountain huts all the way along. Very similar to the Europeans. One of them has it's all dorm style, but it's like 300 beds. It's huge. And they have a dinner at different times because they have so many people. The dining room's not big enough for all 300. So they have
Oh, wow.
have to split it up every half hour or something. And it's amazing. Really beautiful.
So you've done this one, obviously.
Yeah.
And so that a part of that is Mount Fuji. Is that correct?
Yeah, so after we do the Alps, because Fuji's a standalone volcano.
That's correct.
You can actually see Fuji from the Alps, from when we're hiking along the
Yeah,
ridgeline. You
I've
can
seen
see it
some
in
of
the
that.
distance.
Have you got some of those photos in it? Try to see if you can find. Would there be one on the one that you sent me?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let's have a look. No, that's Slovenia. Go down. That's Yarigataki. So this is the highest peak. If you see the very top of that mountain,
There's people
there's
up there.
people on there.
Oh, cool.
That's me.
What's the elevation up there? You see?
It's 3,200 or maybe a bit higher.
Because Fuji's 37, isn't it?
Yeah.
From memory, yeah.
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 And you can see the refugio here, or the mountain hut on the red one down in the
How
on the
gorgeous
ridge.
is that?
It's amazing. And to get to the top, you've got to climb a series of ladders, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's not a an easy path up there, is it? By
No.
the looks of it.
No,
Do
but
they,
it's pretty
um,
amazing.
Do they make you pay to pee up there as well?
Oh, what?
Well, so when I did Mount Fuji and stayed at the huts,
Yes.
it was 200 yen to use the toilet to go for a pee.
Oh, if you're going on the way up, if you're not staying there.
No. So we hiked to station,
Yeah.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
For the overnight stay
Yes.
before we did the morning.
And they charge you to go to the
Charge you
toilet
to go
in the same building as you were staying.
yeah,
That's
200
outrageous.
yen for a wee.
Outrageous.
Yeah, you can't because I was slamming beers. It's like it gets expensive. Oh man, that looks
But
gorgeous.
Fuji is it's a great mountain from the distance, like Mount Kilimanjaro, beautiful from the distance. But
Yeah.
when you're on the mountain itself, it's not much chop. And there's a lot of people on there, isn't there?
Well, it's getting worse. I think they've restricted the amount. So that's the thing.
So that's not a highlight of our trip, but
No.
we put it in there because
You have to.
everyone wants to do Fuji,
You
right?
have to, yeah.
I mean, sunrise is amazing.
It's
and they
gorgeous.
all go, bonsai. It's pretty amazing. And to be honest with you, most of the trekkers on Fuji are Japanese.
Yeah.
Aren't they, right?
Yeah, well, exactly.
They weren't foreigners.
Well, that's like Kokoda. It's a rite of passage, isn't it?
Yeah, for
If
them,
you're
yeah, yeah.
Japanese,
Yeah.
you've got to climb it.
Yeah.
So the time to avoid for that is definitely the school holidays, which is
Yeah.
I think halfway through July.
July, yes.
So I did it. I did
Correct.
it first week of July. I actually did it. I was up there on the morning of my birthday on
Yeah.
July the 10th.
Fuji opens early July,
Yeah.
right? So it opens early July. School holidays is like mid-July or a
Yeah.
little bit later,
Yes.
and for about a month, and you just don't want to trek.
No.
So we don't do it at the Alps either in that
Oh, in
late
that period.
July and August because there's just so many Japanese tourists, right? Which
Yeah.
is fine, but
Yeah.
it just becomes difficult to book accommodation and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it gets busy as hell.
Do
Oh
you
my
agree
God.
that's the trouble with the world that we live in, that there's too many fucking people?
Too many people travelling?
Too many people doing shit that we don't want them to do? Like go to places.
Yeah, well, we're one of them, aren't we? So, yeah. That's why it's always good to go somewhere different.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
And that's the trouble. It's getting harder and harder to find a location,
Yeah.
that hasn't been ruined by tourists and people trying to get Instagram
Yeah.
shots and posts,
Yeah, like in Italy, they had so many tourists last year, like Cinque Terre, which is that trail along the coastline. I think they had something like 2 million visitors or something. Like it's just been loved.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I was there a couple of years ago. With
They
my
closed.
kids.
It was closed. That whole
Yeah,
part
there
of
was
it
a section.
closed.
There's a section that was closed
Yeah.
because of the flooding and all that. But that's reopened again. The blue,
that's
the blue
good.
trail. So, but Italy what they've done is they've got like their main sites like Florence, Milan, Venice, Rome, And then they've got a list of secondary towns which they try to get people to go to. Like
Yeah.
Verona's one of them.
Yep.
But there's even another list that people just don't go to. That's not on any official list. So that's the list you want to get on, the third list.
Exactly. Well, my advice to people would be to maybe travel outside peak periods.
Yeah.
You know, one, you're going to probably get cheaper airfares.
Yeah.
Because we did Greece in that late in the season, and
Yes.
went to Paris and that, and there
Yeah.
was hardly anybody there.
Yeah.
And
And
then
the
sure,
weather's still good.
some of the shops had closed up; they'd all fucked off, but that didn't matter.
No.
You know.
No, that's right. Yeah, like Greece is fantastic in end of April, May, you know.
I
And
think
then
we went
September, October.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was September.
But if you go in July, it's scorching.
yeah, and there's
And it's for us oldies.
too many fucking people.
It's too hot. Like I'm not going to sit in 40 degrees. I
No.
don't do that here.
No, exactly. Only if you've got an Aperol spritz in front of you. I mean, that's and a pool you can dip in.
Did you say pool?
A pool.
That accent's going to get him.
Well, I've been here 23 years, and I've still got a twang. But I'm not going to lose that, dude. That's the thing. Is like that. I'm not going to.
Yeah, but it gets you into trouble when you say pool.
What about dick?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you got
I'm
a big
gonna-
dick out the
got a
back.
big dick. We talked about my dick in the last podcast.
Did you?
Yeah, all 10,
that's good.
10 inches of it.
That's plenty wide enough.
Hey, man, talking about some of the adventures you've had. You all right?
I'm right now.
So Maddie's not going to help you.
No, Matty's over there giggling. Matty has no ideas.
Hey,
Put your clothes on, Matty.
talking about travel? I mean, what's some of the best travel advice you'd give to somebody,
Mm.
or somebody's given to you? Well, let's start with who's given you great travel advice. That
Over the years,
you've got to have some highlights for sure.
well, not really. Look, let's not make it too big, Brendan. Like,
Okay.
they're just little tidbits. Can you say tidbits?
tidbits, tidbits. That's terrific.
Oh, it's terrific.
That's
Yeah.
terrific.
Are there little things like it's a bit boring though. Like,
Well, hey, better than nothing.
well, I gave you a pair of Steigen socks.
Exactly.
Socks are very important. Woolen socks, very important.
Well,
I
'cause
mean,
most-
these are not woolen, but
Most of the stuff that you do involves trekking. It involves
Yes.
walking. It involves
you
going
need-
from A to B.
you need woolen socks, not
Woolen socks, not synthetic.
no
right?
synthetic. Yeah. And I know the big thing at the moment is bamboo socks, but I can tell you we've had a few people who have worn the bamboo socks and their feet have just gone rotten.
Really, it just doesn't cut it. What's the advantage of wool? How does that? Is it just
It
moisture
breathes,
wicking?
Yeah, wicks.
Yeah.
It breathes. Doesn't smell after a few days, so you don't need to have 8 pairs of socks.
Well, I'd still suggest 8 pairs for Kokoda.
Fair enough, you can.
Yeah.
I only take, I think, 3 pairs. I'll tell you what I do. I take 3 pairs. 1 pair I have just for at night time.
Yep,
You know, after you've washed your feet, put a nice fresh pair on.
for sure.
1 pair I wear for as long as I can, and maybe I don't need to use the 3rd pair. But if I do,
That's
maybe I'll
bold.
put on my last.
That's bold.
If you have woolen socks, it's fantastic.
Are we talking-
Maybe I wrote a note here.
We're talking. So, does that include merino?
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's a sheep.
yeah, it is. It is.
You're from New Zealand, mate. You should know this stuff.
Don't talk about my brothers like that.
I wrote something down here about some advice. No, I didn't write that. No, I
No?
didn't write about that.
You got no-
Oh, but I will tell you about some stupid advice people have been given.
Oh, hit me.
One person told me that they were told that they should lather their feet in Vaseline.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then put the socks on. That stops blistering.
Oh, just the thought of that squelching round would just do my
Stupid.
head in.
Don't do it.
No Vass.
Another
What is Vass good for?
few things. There's someone else told me that before the track, like for weeks beforehand, you should soak your feet in, I don't know, some sort of solution. I don't know, dries your feet out, so your feet become really tough.
No.
No, don't do
No.
that. Don't do that. Do you know what you should do? Just put your woolen socks on and go for a few hikes, up in the mountains, and just test your feet.
Well, you've got to prepare, don't you? If
You do.
if you're doing an adventure holiday like you guys offer, you'd be silly not to take the advice because you guys do the info nights. You've
Yeah.
got comprehensive information on
Yes.
your website about what you need to do, what you don't need to do, what gear you need.
Yeah.
And you should be prepared. And that's what's going to talk to you. You've got a scale on your website
Yes.
about the ratings
Yes.
of the holidays.
Jolly Jaunts.
Jolly Jaunts.
That's an easy trip. Like we're just
Yep. So
doing
that's
nothing
was
really.
that a couple of days in walking, going from A to B, sitting by the pool, maybe kayaking a day or something.
Well,
or-
not even that. Like, so we got an orangutan trip. Here's a great thing that most Australians don't realise. So there's the great apes. Yeah, so you got bonobos, chimpanzee, gorilla, and orangutan, and you can see the orangutan so easily from being an Australian. Just fly up to Bali, then Bali to Borneo. Don't go to Malaysia. There's not many there. It's more like a zoo. Go to Borneo. You get on a boat, a little klotok, which is a little river boat
Yep.
where you sleep on. It's got 2 decks and it's fantastic. They cook for you and everything. And the orangutans are just there.
Wow.
It's like
Just there.
15 metres
No
from you.
interaction with them, obviously, because
No,
they're wild. They're in the wild.
Well, they are in the wild, but some of them have been ex-captive.
Yeah.
So that some of them, like when you come down to the little jetty on the river, there's a couple of them will come down and interact with you. One of them comes down, I forgot her name, Priscilla or something. She gets the coconut soap and lathers it up on her arm, and then she licks the foam off. But like, I mean, the dominant male,
Yeah.
like Tom, he's a big.
You stay the fuck
He's
away.
got the big flange, and
Yeah.
you stay away from them. But yeah, you see them there. They're amazing. You see proboscis nose monkeys and gibbons, and
So that would be an
macaques.
example of
That's
what
a
we call
jolly
a jolly
jaunt.
jaunt.
So you're just on a boat,
Yep.
and you're just going down the river, and you just do a little bit of trekking in the jungle to go
Wow.
see the feeding
Just
stations.
imagine
and
the
stuff.
scenery on that. That'd be
It's amazing.
insane.
I think it's a great trip. It's one of those great trips.
Well, you've got plenty of great trips. Talk to me about a balance break.
Balance break is a little bit of that, but a little bit of
Exercise.
exercise. A bit of kayaking.
You do a Komodo Island
Well, it's
kayaking
one of our
adventure, didn't you?
That's one of our biggest parts of the business. So sea kayaking, the Komodo Islands, UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So
Didn't you say you own the boat over there?
Yeah,
Was
I've got a
that?
big boat? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that forms we call it a support boat, but it's much bigger than just a support boat. It's got a kitchen and it's got 3 cabins, air conditioned cabins, and a sun deck and an area where you eat. And
Did you send me a photo of that? We got a photo of that, Manny?
maybe there should be.
We'll have a look through there.
And if you see a boat, go down, keep going down.
No boats.
That's all Japan. I just sent you some of the. That's Slovenia. Didn't I send you any?
I reckon we had a picture of your boat on
Last
on the
time.
last episode. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so that would be balance break. That's sort of we do a Lux trip. So we have the Komodo kayaking trip, which is we kayak and all that sort of stuff. That's not a balance break. That's more of a high heart rate. That's the next level up.
Yep.
But we do a luxury version of the Komodo trip. So we stay in these luxury bures over the water near the Komodo National Park, and we go out for the day on our boat, and then we have a component of it is a bit of sea kayaking.
Cool.
So it's really good. One night, if people want to camp on the beach in the safari-style tents, they can, or we can take them back to the bure.
That
So
sounds amazing.
it's a really great trip.
Wow.
And then the next one up is
We got
high heart
high
rate.
heart rate.
That's like Kokoda.
Holiday. Yeah, that's where that falls in.
Yeah,
So you're going to need to do a bit of training for that. So there's a bit
Yeah.
bit of preparation.
Yeah,
a bit
yeah.
of forethought.
yeah, Tour de Mont Blanc, Everest.
Which one's the most challenging, you reckon, out of the ones that you offer? You reckon Kokoda's going to be the up there, or Mont Blanc?
No, Kokoda's quite difficult, but some of our mountaineering trips in Nepal are more extreme, because you're going to 6,500 meters, and it's a little bit of technical climbing.
Is it so? You're going to base camp, or you're going further than base camp's 5,000 meters? Is that correct?
5, 6.
5, 6.
So
you're going up and above that.
Yeah. But we go. So there's Island Peak, which is just on the way to Everest Base Camp. That's 6,500 meters. So we do a climb for that, and then we do another one called Mira Peak, which is actually quite away from Everest, but it's quite a good mountain to climb because you get to a great view.
Oh,
of
you get a
Everest.
stunning vista.
Yeah, from the distance. See,
I tell you, part of that whole adventure is actually flying into the airport.
Into Lukla.
Lukla.
Yeah.
Have we got, Matt? I think we've got a video there of.
Yeah.
I mean, for those people that haven't seen it, Google it because it's pretty hairy.
It is hairy.
It is hairy. This
Hairier
is
than
the
Chewbacca.
pilot view. Just landing.
You can't do this anymore. Like to get a video of it because they put a curtain across.
From the passengers view
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
And then everyone will be clapping, I bet you.
Yeah. Wait for it. You can hear it there. Everybody's cheering.
Yeah.
So we're alive. Is it scarier landing or taking off?
No, scarier landing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had a group of guys. I took a group of guys to Everest in November last year, and had a great time. Flew into Lukla like that. We didn't go all the way to Everest Base Camp, so we went to a place called Everest View Hotel, which is an iconic hotel at about nearly 4,000 meters.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
That's-
and it's was built in the early 70s by a Japanese guy, and just the fact that they've built this amazing hotel there up on this ridge above Namche Bazaar. So Namche Bazaar is the biggest village along the trail.
Yeah.
And we hike up to Namche Bazaar, spend 2 nights in Namche Bazaar, and then we go up to Everest View Hotel, and we spend 3 nights at Everest View Hotel and just do day hikes. Wow. But on the ridge where they've built the hotel, there's only 12 rooms, and every room has a view of Everest. So you wake up in the morning,
Wow.
and you're still in bed, and there's Everest just
Yeah.
there.
That's enough to give you a boner, isn't it?
It's
Don't you wake up with a boner
what's
anymore?
wrong with him? Not anymore. But it's an amazing trip, and we had such a ball because, first of all, we stayed in luxury accommodation the whole way. So I'm talking about electric blankets and hot showers all the way.
It's
and
funny how you call that
amazing food.
luxury.
Yeah, it is luxury
Yeah.
at 4,000 meters.
Yeah.
And then we just did day hikes from there. So we went to Kumjung, where there's the scalp of a yeti in one of the monasteries there.
Oh.
Yeah, which is really cool. We hiked to Kunde Peak, which is 4,200 meters via Hillary's Lookout, which has got great views down the valley towards Everest and Dublin.
So altitude sickness isn't a problem, isn't it? an
Yeah,
issue?
yeah. So
it is.
it is. Yeah. So you need to respect it, and a couple of people, got a little bit ill from it, but everyone else was fine. And then on the last day, chopper comes in, picks you up. You fly up over the Khumbu Glacier, up the Western Coombe, the ice fall. Oh man! We were at 6,500 meters. Could see Camp 1 where Camp 1 was. Camp 4, summit of Everest there. And then
Wow.
it flies all the way back to Lukla, refuels, and then flies you back to Kathmandu.
That's amazing.
Amazing trek. And we did, so everyone goes to Nepal thinking, oh, mountains, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But they also have fantastic safaris there. On the border of India and Nepal is a place called the Terai. And it's, it's jungle basically. And so the group, we went down to Chitwan National Park, which is a very famous national park there. And they have tigers and rhinos and elephants and monkeys and everything.
Wow.
So you go, you don't ride on the elephants. They don't do that anymore. But you walk through the jungle with an elephant. It's amazing. Amazing. And you see rhinos 15, 20 meters away. We didn't see a tiger. It wasn't tiger season.
Oh, really? There's a season.
Yeah, best season to see them is March, April, May, I think it is, because that's the hot, when it's really hot. And so the tigers come down to the rivers to cool off. But it's also more difficult to trek then because it's quite hot.
Yeah.
Whereas in November, it's a lot cooler, but they don't need to come down to the rivers so often.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to have to find some pictures online during the break because that sounds
yeah, it was an amazing trip.
great. Let's
Yeah.
take a break.
Okay.
There you go. This podcast is brought to you in part by Buckfast. What is Buckfast, you ask? Well, let me tell you. It's better known as Bucky, and it's an internationally enjoyed, unique tasting tonic wine. It's equally rich in heritage as it is in taste. It packs a punch from 15% alcohol and about the same amount of caffeine as a well-known drink that gives you wings. Buckfast's enjoyment is only rivaled by its versatility from the cooking pot to the wine or cocktail glass. Drink it straight, mix it in a Negroni, or use it as a marinade. Available Australia-wide and distributed by Beeblebrox Beverages. Visit beeblebrox.com.au to find your closest stockist and buckfast.com for cocktail and recipe ideas.
Have you seen those videos where they're in Saudi or might be Dubai or something, and the guy is in the the traditional Saudi garb, and he's on a plate of something on the ground, holding on to the side of the car on the freeway, like surfing on something on the ground, like he's got his feet on it, like a plate of metal or I don't know what it is, and he's holding onto the car.
They're fucking crazy, man. They are crazy.
And they're going fast.
Yeah, yep. Speed for them.
Oh, they love it.
Hey, talking about crazy fucking Saudis, we've got a new segment this year called Dead or Alive. What do you reckon that's all about?
Let's go to the videotape.
Let's go to the video. Let's check the video. Maddie, what's our first? Whoa, this looks like it's got a lot of sand. Let's play this one.
All right.
So this guy's playing around in his FJ, playing in the water, gets a little bit out of control. Oh my gosh, whips it back and then...
Oh, fuck!
No way. Is that AI?
No, that's real. See if you can pause that, Matty, when he flops out. So we're looking at some dude in his FJ, in the sand, by the water, whips it. Oh, there you go.
Where did he come out of, though?
Put your fucking seatbelt on, buddy. What do you reckon? You reckon he died? Dead or alive?
He landed in water, so I'd say he's alive.
Yeah, I think he did survive.
But if he didn't land in water, wow, yeehaw!
I mean, come on, that's 101 for jumping in the car.
That's pretty
fucking
good.
Buckle up, mate. Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Have we got another one?
Yeah, for sure, mate. For sure. What's this one? Dude on a horse. That's not unusual. Oh!
Oh, lordy. That's funny. What did he
So there's a
do?
guy on a
Big sign,
horse and a
yeah.
couple of cop cars are chasing him, look at that. So we had to rewind this a couple of times early on.
he's hit
So
the
there's
pole.
one pole, so it's like he's just leant over, or maybe the horse has gone to avoid the pole, and he's
Yes.
gone off, and he's just smacked it straight. I mean, you got to wonder. There's a reason why there's two cop cars chasing him in there. He died. He's dead.
No,
Yeah, his fucking head flew off.
did not. It's his helmet.
No, he's got a cowboy hat on.
Oh, a cowboy hat. I think he's alive.
Yeah,
But
he
geez,
did.
He is.
Once again, he's got a headache forever now. He's going to have a
And
ring.
it's on the internet, so that'll never leave
And
him.
imagine after that he's been locked up as well too. You're all fucked up. Just riding your horse.
What are you in
wow.
here for?
Oh, what do we got now, Matty? What's next? Oh, today's good. I like these ones.
Oh no, crushed arm. What the hell?
Oh,
Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone.
oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, that's the reaction that we wanted. Matty, look at that.
Jesus,
Oh, fuck.
no. Oh, God. He's alive, but
There's no stop that, Matty. Oh, I was going to say there's no roll bar.
no.
There's
It's a little Mazda.
little MX-5.
Yeah, original.
Look at it.
That's the highest selling sports car in the world.
Is it?
MX-5, yeah, sold more than any other sports car.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a cool car, I reckon. I mean, they're a little bit small for me. But
This dude's going to be.
But his arm.
He's going to be questioning his purchasing decisions, isn't he?
what size? Which arm was it?
It looked like both of them. Just forward that through.
No, it was. Why is,
So, see, both arms are out, and then it goes, but it crushes him.
Jesus Christ. Okay, next one.
So he's not
Why
going
are
to be
you
able
putting
to.
me through this? I actually did see a compilation of stuff like this the other day because I don't mind seeing people,
Get
fall
hurt,
and stuff.
yeah.
No, just a bit of
All
falling.
right.
But this one, it was like 20 of them. I had to stop it after 5. They were that violent. The things that happened to these people, I just thought, I can't watch
Well,
this.
you're gonna have to give me a link for that because we
No,
need
it was just-
we need
I
more
have no
material.
idea, it was
we need more material.
swiping,
Of course you were, mate. That's dead or alive.
Oh, is that it?
That's it, mate.
Oh,
Well, it looked
I
like,
don't have a video like
It looked
that.
like you'd been to the ringer, mate. It was only 3 videos.
that last one. Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah.
I could feel it.
Don't buy an MX-5 and do skids.
Well, they have roll bars now, I think.
Wow.
Anyway, thanks for that. That's actually not a bad segment.
It's.
Dead or
I
alive.
like it.
You wouldn't know if they were dead or alive, though. Like, did you follow up on
see
any
that-
of them?
No. I just tell people they're dead if I think they died. But
Have you shown any?
that's the second time we've
So
done that
last
segment.
week,
Yeah.
did you think anyone died?
No. I
Okay, so you
actually
haven't-
there's obviously a limit of what you can do
Yes.
online. So I've got a line I'm not going to cross.
Oh, okay.
But I'll do.
So they'll all be not dead.
You
so
definitely
it'll
want
just
to.
be alive and alive.
Yeah, but you don't want to tell the listeners that, mate. It's it's
No, I
the it's
Oh,
the,
yeah, sorry.
it's the suspense and the intrigue about the whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
About the whole thing. Well, I'm glad you.
Thanks for that.
I'm glad you like that.
It was actually quite good. I'm going to be doom scrolling all day.
Nice, yeah. That's probably your phone's been listening to that. It's probably just going to pop up in your feed.
Well,
now.
it does happen.
It does happen.
I mean, they can say it doesn't, but it does.
It does. It's a thing.
I was away with a mate of mine the other week, and he said we were just talking about something completely boring, like how to change an electric plug. Like,
A 3
the
point,
wall.
a 3-pin plug. Yeah.
and an hour later he's going through, and there it is, how to do it on his feed. Facebook
Yeah, they
feed.
reckon it. They reckon it
That's-
takes about 30 minutes for the algorithm and the voice data.
That's
to-
rubbish.
Yeah,
like it's.
but you understand that's the
and I don't
world.
have Siri.
You understand that's the world we live in, eh?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand it. Thanks.
But it is no. I'm not trying to be patronising. I'm not trying to. What I'm trying to say is that
Yeah,
it is actually in some cases a good thing.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree, because it's going to try to give you things that you are interested in from what you've talked about or whatever, rather than just sending you. Like, remember the old days before social media, you'd get so much junk mail in your letterbox that you wouldn't even look at it because
You're talking about
it's
the physical
junk mail.
Yes.
You wouldn't even look at it because it's not appropriate for you. Well, nowadays those days are gone, because everything that you're being fed, you have in some way thought,
Well, it's more
you've
streamlined.
said
You think about
or
it.
you've gone to a website. They've got a little pixel in the or whatever you call it, cookie that will tell Facebook, hey, he's gone to Slovenia, for example, and then all of a sudden, Slovenia's on your feed.
It's about optimization, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
about doing things faster and more efficient. And that's the one good thing I actually do like about traveling.
Mm.
Google has got some amazing services for for trains, for
Yeah.
transport.
Yeah.
If you want to get a recommendation on where to eat,
Yeah.
but the one thing we found when we were in Europe was that because it knew you were there
Mm.
with location services, it would pop up with these suggestions of, hey, have you been to these attractions? Or
right.
we were actually driving in Germany and something popped up on my wife's phone. It was for the Shine Museum.
Oh yeah.
Have you been there?
No.
We were talking about the Concorde
Yes.
earlier on.
Yes.
And it popped up on the phone, and then it was like, oh, that's only like 5 or 10 k's down the road.
Yeah, cool.
And then as soon as you come to it, you can see the Concorde up on its
Yeah,
up on
amazing.
the stilts. I tell you what, I probably wouldn't have wanted to fly on it. I mean, it's like a coffin.
It's a capsule.
It's not very comfortable.
No.
Hey, talking about unspoken or unwritten rules among adventurers, do you class yourself as an adventurer? Mm-hmm. Is that your job title?
Well,
Is that your title, adventurer?
no, that's a bit of a wanky, isn't it?
Yeah,
No. But I am an adventurous person.
of
But
course.
I wouldn't say I'm an adventurer. Like, I wouldn't give myself that title. No.
It's so wow. I don't think that's sweet. That's pretty cool.
Hi,
It's not something you're going to pull up in a dinner party and go, "Hi, I'm Pete the adventurer." No,
No.
no.
No. Oh. It's like, have you met people who go, hi, I'm Brendan, I'm an elite athlete? Have you met elite athletes?
No. Are they all dicks?
No. I'm just saying that they're...
Is that what they do?
They're unknowns. They're not like...
Well, that's like vegans, isn't it?
Yeah, and
They got to tell you.
CrossFit.
Oh, fuck, CrossFit.
Well, they say, what is a person who does CrossFit and is a vegan? They're confused what they'll tell you first. Or the joke is, how do you know if someone's vegan?
Yeah, they'll tell you about
they'll
it.
tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Unspoken or unwritten rules. What do you got? Because there's got to be some insider goss that you guys know that not everybody knows.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, yeah. So it depends on the trip, of course. So like for Kokoda or Everest or whatever, it's pretty well beaten trail. But we also do the 4,000 metre peaks in Papua New Guinea. So we do exploratory trips in Papua New Guinea. There's one place in the world that there still allows for true exploration is PNG, right?
So we're talking about uncharted territory. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, forging your own
Some-
trail.
Yeah, or there might be like a local pad, or which is a word for a trail that they do between a village. But there's a lot of areas in PNG that just really aren't visited by anybody other than, say, the locals that are walking between a village. But our trips these trips are, they don't just go to the top of the 4,000 metre peak. We'll do a traverse, so we'll go from one side of the mountain to the other,
Right.
which is very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because quite often there will be a trail to the top of the mountain and then you go back again, and there's no trail to keep going. So it's the traverse bit that's the exploratory bit.
Oh,
yeah?
for sure.
And some of the mountains simply just aren't visited at all. Maybe the lowlands, like I just came back from Mount Victoria last year, and there's a huge grassland and where the locals will go for hunting and whatever, but they don't necessarily go to the top of Mount Victoria. There's no point. There's no hunting there, for example. So anyway, so for these 4,000 metre peak trips, where we go off the grid, we'll have a map, but the map, may not be accurate, and we bring the locals along as well, but sometimes they're not exactly sure because they don't really go to the top of the mountains. So the unspoken rule is, and if you're with a group of people, right, that like you might be bringing some adventurous people with you that are, that want to come along, the unspoken rule is you never give away that you fucking have no idea where the fuck you are.
Fake it until you make it. That's what that's called.
Right. 50%
Those
of the
poor
time,
bastards. They're just getting led blind.
Yeah. You know what? Yep. Well, no worries. We've just got to go up that ridge.
Yeah.
And da. So it's the duck theory. Have you heard of this duck theory?
No, enlighten me.
So when you're looking at a duck on a pond and it's gliding across the water,
Of course.
the top of the duck's very calm.
Exactly.
But underneath he's
Paddling like fucking crazy.
That's what
Yeah.
I am. Stay very calm
Yep.
for everyone to see, but underneath I'm very, very nervous and trying to putting it all together and make sure it all happens and everyone
Have you ever
survives.
been like really anxious with a situation that you've been in? Does that factor into your being?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm not one of these people who has no emotion or anything. No,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But I don't know if it was my training with the fire brigade or my experience with the fire brigade or just me as a person. But normally I don't get rattled until a few days later,
Right.
and then I reflect.
On reflection.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So in the middle of it, I can stay quite calm.
But that's exactly
need,
what they
yeah.
train you to do, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if they actually train you. To be honest with you, I never remembered a class in how to stay calm.
You're talking about with the MFB.
With the MFB, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it was just sort of a natural thing that I have.
Yeah, which is good.
So yeah, it's really important
Yeah.
for what I do. So yeah, there's been situations for sure. I'm like, I have no idea where we are. Like we're camping in the middle of the jungle and we should be up another 1,000 meters or who knows.
Well, I think that harks back to a basic travelling tip as well too, is to not panic and go off on a tangent and start going one direction
Yeah.
when you haven't assessed the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the situation I think about is like the train stations in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
And I remember travelling with my son there previously, and he would just bolt off one way, and I wasn't sure, and it'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, well, hold on a tick, come back here.
Yeah.
Before you go racking off down there, let's just assess where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then make a decision based on best knowledge.
Yes.
You know, so that's what I've taught him to do, and that's how I've learned over my travel is that, you know, sure you're gonna if you're wandering and you're just trying to you don't have to be anywhere specifically. That's good,
Yes.
but as you say, if you've got somewhere to be or you need to be somewhere, and you have to get from A to B,
Yeah.
you know, you've got to go through the process of getting there,
Yeah.
and freaking out and going off on a tangent or going somewhere else is not going to be the solution to the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, exactly. So that's my little secret.
Yeah.
But generally, like most treks, that we run, other than those exploratory trips,
Well, as you say,
you
that's
don't have to worry about that sort of
no,
stuff.
exactly. But as you say, that's when you use the word adventurer. That's the epitome of adventuring is being in these situations where, okay, you've got the information you need, but you've still got to figure things out.
Yeah.
You know, you've still got to forge a path, or figure out a solution to a problem that may pop up on that journey.
Yes.
You know,
And we're lucky in a way these days because you have your mobile phone now that uses satellite. So it can actually, and if you've got a map downloaded onto your phone for that area, you can pretty accurately ping where you are at least.
yeah, exactly.
know?
Are you still getting good is it work on cell phone coverage, or is it satellite
Yeah,
phone?
it'll use a satellite. No, you'll still use your normal phone, but
Yep.
it'll use a satellite GPS.
Yep.
Basically, so that's what that uses is
Yeah.
GPS uses satellite. So it'll still know exactly where you are, but sometimes it's not that accurate. Like especially if you're under the canopy. Like if you're up on a ridge line, you'll be able to get it. But if
Yeah, you
you're
won't get in
if
the
you're in the
can- yeah.
jungle, you're like,
Yeah.
it still thinks you're back in Port Moresby or something.
Isn't that what they say? Is to go high if
Yeah.
you're in a
Yeah.
in a problem or you're stuck and you don't know where you are, just to
Yeah.
climb, go higher,
Yeah, you need a view.
a perspective on
Mm-hmm.
where you're at, or to follow a river. No, is that bad advice?
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
Because the river turns into a waterfall
Oh yeah,
sometimes.
that
So-
harks back to that movie we're going to produce.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be a scene.
Exactly. Oh, my God.
You turn it up to a waterfall. Go, are we going to jump or turn back?
Would Hugh Jackman do it? Hugh?
Hugh would jump. Yeah,
reckon he would.
yeah.
Does he do his own stunts?
He would take his shirt off.
Ugh.
Yeah. Stop it. What's the strangest piece of advice you've ever received? Out in the wild.
Out in the wild. Oh, yeah. Well, and it's actually worked, this bit of advice. So if you've got muscle, it's very location specific, right? So if you're in Papua New Guinea, for example, or be in Indonesia would be another place, like the tropics.
Yes.
And you've got muscle pain, rubbing or whacking stinging nettle on your muscles
That doesn't sound like good advice.
takes away the pain. It works.
Does it take away the pain or take your mind off the pain?
Well,
with the...
I don't know. That's the thing.
So we're talking about stinging nettle, yeah?
You know,
So
stinging nettle.
Anybody
it's
that
little
doesn't know
plant
what...
that has
Yep.
all these little filaments on it. Actually, I remember once I was on Kokoda, and the group was walking behind me, and we were heading off to the. There's a bomber that went down during the Second World War. It's sort of like a side trip, yeah.
Yeah.
And you leave your packs at the intersection of the trail, and then you walk in to go see the bomber, and then you walk back to your packs. So it's a nice little side trip. Anyway, the group was a little bit behind me, and so I walked ahead of them, and I thought I'll hide behind this tree, and as they walk past me, I'll just walk out like, "Hey, how you going?" And it gives them a little bit of a scare. Yeah, it's like, so I'm behind this tree, squatted down, waiting for them, and I thought, geez, and I could feel my legs burning, and I'd squatted down into a
Oh, no.
bush of stinging nettle.
That doesn't sound like a true adventurer professional.
No, I wasn't very professional. Scaring the
it's gonna
trekkers, I wasn't very professional either. So needless to say, I jumped out of there before that, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Oh, I was in this, Anyway, so stinging nettle. If you've got
It
sore
actually
back-
works.
Yeah.
It actually works.
Whack it on there, and like you said though, I don't know whether it's because it stings more than the muscle pain, but the
Yeah.
next day it feels good.
Good.
Don't get it on your hands.
No, don't rub your eyes.
Oh God!
Don't go for
Don't
a
go
pee.
to the pee, or wipe your bum. Oh,
Don't wipe your bum with stinging needle.
don't. Oh, God. Toilet paper.
Imagine that.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. I'm sure that's caught a few amateur campers out
yeah.
in the
You know
day.
how but if you get stinging nettle on you, hot water is very good for it.
Oh, really? That's
You
the
just pour hot water
Yep.
on it, and it'll take it away quite
not
quickly.
boiling hot water, obviously.
No, just hot water.
Yeah.
Not scaldering.
You don't want
I
third
don't want to
degree
give
burns
bad
to get rid of.
advice on this show.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so it works. Actually, Sam Newman did it on Kokoda. That technique.
That's right. Because
I
you
told you
you
that
took
last
him.
time.
You took him there.
Did I tell you that last time?
No, I don't think you did.
Sam Newman was in a hut. We had one of our porters or guides come down to give a talk about natural medicine, and Sam was really interested into it in it.
Yeah.
And Nelson, who was the guy, he brought out the stinging nettle and said that this is the technique that we use to help with sore muscles. And Sam said, "Oh, actually, I've got a really bad back. Could you whack me on the back with
Whack
it?"
me back.
And Nelson looked at me like, "Should I do it?" And I'm there going, "Yeah, you should do it." So, but what Sam didn't realise is Sam's turned his back and pulled his top up for Nelson to whack him, and Nelson's got his hand on the stinging nettle and gone like this to get most of the nettle off. So could you imagine Nelson's hand would have been stinging like hell?
Oh, man.
Because he didn't want Sam to get the full brunt of
Oh,
it.
right.
And then he's whacked Sam on the back, which would have had still some stinging nettle on it.
Yeah.
But most of it was in Nelson's hand.
Oh, fuck.
And Sam's gone, oh, he's a great showman, right? So,
Yes.
And we had the camera rolling, I think, and he's, oh, geez, that's really sore. And, oh, wow, that's really... And actually, Sam swears by it the next day. He said his back was much better.
Great advice.
It works.
Great advice.
They have nettle tea. I don't know how that works.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, haven't you seen nettle tea?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it the same nettle? I don't know.
Surely not.
Don't call me Shirley.
I've had mushroom tea.
Oh, I bet you have. Before the show.
It does work, mate.
Does it?
Yeah, yeah.
Mushroom tea.
Just microdose. Yeah.
Micro tea.
Yeah.
Where do you get them from?
Oh, I can't tell you that. I can't divulge my
No,
sources.
No, supplier.
I don't want to put anybody in jeopardy.
No.
I mean, everybody's got to make a living, don't they?
I do.
Yeah. Have you come across any exotic ingredients on your travel, like local? Like obviously you've got kava and Fiji and stuff like that. Have you got any tales of local? Well, we've talked about one remedy with the stinging nettle.
Nettles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've
Have you
eaten some
ingested or
things. I've eaten
eaten?
like snakes and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Tastes like chicken.
is that well? Of course,
Yeah, I've had that. I try not to eat.
you're not that
Animals.
type of adventurer. Oh, when you're saying you're vegan,
You would know by now.
I was gonna say.
No, not really. Not. I mean, I've done little bits and pieces of stuff like smoked opium in Thailand when I was a backpacker and
How'd
up
that
in the
go for you?
villages. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very soothing.
So opium, poppies, heroin.
Yeah, but I
It's
don't know.
different, same, but different.
Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously, smoking's
was
going to be
calming.
different. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, no,
No?
not really.
Doesn't
I
spend.
can't. Nothing jumps to mind.
Yeah.
So
Do you drink at all? You a
Yeah.
drinker?
yeah, drink.
Yeah?
Yeah, wine.
Yeah.
Nice wine. And I had some of your
Buckfast?
Buckfast. It was delicious.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
one
yeah,
one glass
number
is
one.
enough. for you.
Yeah, well, at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's before noon. Everybody.
It's not anymore, mate.
And he's having an
We
Asahi.
talk about. Hey, I'm just trying to do my job, mate. Just trying to do. I'm setting
It's
myself up.
driving you to do.
I'm setting myself up for success.
Yeah, right.
What have you got coming up this year? 2025.
Yeah.
Big year for a lot of people because they were really fucking had the jack with 2024
Yeah.
for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
The economy's still in the shitter a bit. Are people? I mean, you've placed yourself in the market at the top end,
Yeah.
at the
Higher
higher
end,
end.
yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the services that you provide.
Yeah.
Is there still growth there for you with regards to the
Yeah,
services
yeah.
that you offer?
Yeah, I mean the demographic is 45 to 70.
Yeah,
A lot of retired people.
a lot.
A lot.
Yep.
A lot of people who had already paid their houses off. You see,
Sure.
so they're
Kids
not,
are gone. Yep.
Yeah, so they're not. They don't have the same pressures. You see in the news about
Mortgage stress.
mortgage stress and inflation and all that sort of stuff. Well, a lot of these people don't have that.
No.
It only affects a third of the people because a third of the people have mortgages.
Exactly.
So,
But that's
and
still
then the
a
other
lot.
third affected by because they're renters.
Yep.
So 2/3 it affects.
Yeah.
But the other third aren't affected by it. In fact, they like interest rates high because they get a better
Of
return
course.
on their
Exactly. Yeah.
deposits, what have you. So
Was that a conscious decision to slot yourself in the market at that point, at that level?
yeah, I didn't want to go budget
Yep.
because it's volume then.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly. So
it's just a
quality
tougher
over
market.
quantity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this year, we've got some really amazing new trips like Slovenia. We've got so we have this a style of trip. We call it a staycation. It's actually not the best word for it, but that's the best way I can explain it. So we basically plonk ourselves in one place for a week or a little bit more than a week. A little bit like what we were talking earlier about staying in one place and getting to know.
Joyful jaunt.
No. So there'll still be high heart rates.
Okay.
It can be high heart rates, but we'll stay in one place, and then from there, and we'll stay in like a luxury hotel.
Yep.
And then from there, we'll do day trips, and then come back again. And we might do a bike ride, might do a trek. Sometimes we might even do like a Via Ferrata, which is where you clip yourself into a cable up in the mountain and go a bit higher up in the mountain. You might do some white water rafting and then come back. So you get
Brilliant.
to really know the area very, very well.
Yep.
And so we've got one of those in Slovenia this year.
Why Slovenia?
Well, it's beautiful. It's in the Julian Alps, so it's next to Italy, which is my favourite country. Ooh. And the Julian Alps is beautiful, named after Julius Caesar.
Of course.
Yes.
I did know that.
And the salad. And he wasn't born a Caesarean either, by the way, Caesareans. But, very beautiful and a little bit less touristed, so which is quite good.
Which is what we like.
Yeah, which is what we like. So we got that. That's coming up in August. And then we've got La Reunion.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
I said, where the fuck is La Reunion?
Yeah, everybody says it. That's why you should go.
Maddie?
So that's in May. And we're doing the Grand Traverse. So we might have a map. Yeah, there we go. So that's the island. It's a small island.
And you said it's French.
Yeah. So it's just off the coast of Madagascar.
Yep.
It's actually
Mauritius.
not that hard to get to. You fly to Bangkok, and then there's a direct flight from Bangkok, I think, to Reunion.
Really? I can't imagine that'd be a daily
It's once a
service.
week.
Yeah.
Once a week.
Exactly.
And because it's French, if you flew from Paris to Reunion, which is a direct flight, it's the world's longest domestic flight. I think it's like 12 hours or something.
Wow. That's got to hold the record, doesn't it?
It'd have to.
Yeah. You'd want more than peanuts and a Coke on that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go on Jetstar. Tiger. Yeah, so we're going to do, and it's a volcanic island.
Hey, Matty, go down a bit. See that one with the typography on it? That picture there. Can you click on that just to show us what the no?
No, this is Wikipedia.
That's no. We'll go to that. We're just looking at the topography on it.
If you open in maps,
Yeah,
then you
open
can
it.
change.
Oh, here we go.
You can
Oh,
see.
gorgeous!
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
So
And
it's
it's very small, isn't it?
Yeah. It's got a Creole culture, so Creole food, and it's all
Explain
very
Creole.
I don't really know much about it, but it's spicy food and yeah.
So that would be
it's a mixture of
the African
yeah,
influence of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So explain to me the trick that you do.
yeah. So we sort of start in the north part of the islands at the top, yeah, and then we come through the centre. So you can see the centre is very mountainous.
Oh.
So we'll do hikes. It's not camping. But it's hikes from one village to the next,
Yep.
just staying in little hotels and refugios along the way. Yeah, and then we end up basically down the bottom right-hand corner. So we start at the top left and end up at the bottom right.
Yeah.
And then we spend a couple of days down on the beach.
Where's the airport? Oh, to be
In
down
top, no, top left.
top left.
Yeah,
Okay.
around there.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
you zoom in on that, Maddie, or not? Can you open that?
Yeah, up there. See the
Yeah.
grassy bit there.
Yeah.
Up a bit further.
Up. Yeah.
No, not there.
In the middle there.
Yeah, to the left.
There you go.
There's the airports around there.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's beautiful. Very beautiful. So we've got a trip in May.
How did you come to this?
Well, it was very interesting. Well, it's not very interesting, but I was just talking to some people in Germany. My wife's German, and I was in Germany a couple of years ago, and a couple I was talking to said they'd just come from La Réunion, and they were just showing me some pictures. I'd never really heard of the place before.
No, I'd never heard of it
Yeah.
before today.
And they go, and they said, and it would be. They only did a beach holiday, right? But they did a couple little day hikes. But they said it'd be fantastic to do hiking in, and so of course that piqued my interest,
Of course.
and checked it out online. And there
So
you
you
go.
haven't actually been there
No,
yet.
it's our first
So
trip.
this is
Chris from our office is going. He's got a group of people going with him.
you're not going.
Oh my god,
No.
no.
Are you,
I'm too
are
busy.
you bummed about that?
Not really.
No.
No, I'll get there in the next year or two. I'll fly from Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so it's going to be great.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That's just that encompasses adventure.
Yeah,
when you
it
think
does.
about it, you know,
I totally agree. Yeah.
it's just insane that they've got like direct flights from. You
I
know,
know.
you don't have to hop from, Madagascar or
yeah.
Africa.
Africa.
So,
Yeah. That's what I thought. You'd fly to South Africa and then do another flight from there. But no, there's direct.
So you
flights
said from Bangkok and from
Bangkok.
Paris.
and Paris. Yeah.
So the Bangkok would be about the same time as the Paris flight. No? Yes or no?
What do you
No.
mean?
As in like Bangkok to La Réunion, Paris to
Oh yeah, the distance. Yeah. You're right.
it's about the same.
Yeah. So it takes a while to get there, but and
That's
have to
worth
stay,
it.
And you have to stay at least a week
Because of the flights.
because the flights are only once
Obviously.
a week.
There's
So-
nothing wrong with that though, is there?
No,
Nothing
I could
wrong
think
with
of worse places to spend a week.
Do they speak French?
Yeah,
They do?
yeah.
Is that annoying for you?
Not really.
Do you like the French? Do we
You know,
like the French?
The word French. If you put the word French in front of another word, it normally makes it better. Like toast,
French toast, of course. Yeah.
kiss.
French, yes. Yeah. You got another example? You got to have three.
The only French toast, French kiss, baguette, French baguette, or what was another one? Give me another one. It's French.
Fuck, I'm drawing a blank here, mate.
But the only word that it doesn't make it better is people.
French people. Shout out to all our French listeners out there.
Oui, oui.
Winner Shana Pupu.
The hell? Did he just make that up?
Isn't that French for I shit my pants?
Yeah, it sounded like it. I thought the poo-poo. Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, so what's up for you? What's the next trip for you? Because you said you've been home for about 3
Yeah.
months. Because I questioned how often you're away, and you said you've been here for the last 3 months, and then when you off again, March.
March, I go to PNG to make sure everything's ready for the Kokoda treks this year.
Yep.
Because we actually got a trip in March, a private group. So we've got that. Then I come back for a couple of weeks, and then I go to the Komodo Islands, just make sure the boat and everything's and the team are all ready for the Komodo season because that starts in April.
So you're more doing an overseas management, logistic type role,
Yeah,
making sure that the wheels are greased and everything's working how it should. Is that what you're doing?
yeah, that's part of my job now.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I'm back home for April. And then May, I fly to Greece, Friend's got a wedding
Nice.
in Greece.
In
So-
Greece or in the Greek islands?
In Greece, in a place called Epirus, Vikos Gorge, so up near the Albanian border. And actually, we're starting another staycation there, a luxury trip there next year,
Wow.
in May next year.
Yep.
So going up there, I'll go to the wedding, and then I'll spend about a week there
Checking it out.
checking it all out.
Cool.
And then from there, I go to, Verona, oh, no, actually, I don't know where I'm going. Oh, no, I'm going to Slovenia. Spending a week in Slovenia with a couple of friends.
Yep.
It's not part of the August trip. And then I go back to Germany for a week and then come home. And then I'm home for a month and a half, and then I go back to Europe again. I've got 2 trips to Europe this year.
Working
Yeah,
trips?
working, yeah. And then I've got to take the second half, or like September onwards, off, because I've got 2 kids in year 12. So I
Right.
thought I'd better stay home and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
support them.
Are the kids ready to do a lot of travel?
Yeah. So we're moving to Europe next year, April next year.
That's a big
So,
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you're saying au revoir to Australia?
au revoir, I'm
Au
French,
revoir.
au revoir.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
For
no,
good?
well, nothing's ever for good, is it? Like,
No,
you could
true.
go back to New Zealand
No, exactly.
if you
exactly.
want to.
But are you saying goodbye to Australia for an extended period
Yes.
of time? Yes.
But I'll come back like
Yeah.
in between.
You got to come.
The kids can.
You got taxation liabilities over here, or is it?
Yeah,
You're going to
yeah.
do everything offshore now.
No, everything will be done here. It's still
Yeah.
be Australian company, so
Yep.
and the kids can come and stay with us. I mean, yeah. So yeah, it'll be good. That's the sort of the next part of our adventure.
Where are you going to base yourself?
Hopefully, northern Italy will be the main area that we'll go. We haven't decided, Brendan.
What do you need to decide?
No,
You're just gonna-
exactly.
Man, yeah. I mean, your life is just one fleeting adventure to the next. I
Well,
mean,
Yes, just wherever
no
we want to
boundaries.
go.
No boundaries.
This is the great thing. We're living in a great age where we can run a business from a laptop.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
And if you've got a team in various places around the world, then you're okay. So, why not?
Ultimately, what you do is the epitome of working from home,
Yes,
isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's lots of countries that are doing that now, allowing people to do that. So you can go live in Indonesia for a year. You know, they've got a special visa for those.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Nomads.
Thailand
Yeah.
as another one.
What do they call them? What is it? Electronic nomads or laptop nomads or something? Yeah.
That wasn't very catchy though. What you said.
No, I'm going
There
to
must
have
be
to.
another name.
we're gonna have
It's
to
not like
edit.
grey nomads. That's pretty.
Maddie, help me out, mate. Help me out. It's something nomads.
Google it, could you?
Yeah.
Anyway, so so there's even Europe. Like you can go to Greece. So normally, if you're not a European citizen, you can only spend 3 months of the year within Europe.
Yes.
Yeah. Within a 12-month period, and digital nomad.
Digital. I was fucking close. What did I say? Electronic nomads. Digital.
Electronic. That was a mouthful. Digital. See, that's why you're not in marketing.
No.
So, you can go. Greece is giving a 1-year visa.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
there's a
everybody's
few-
up in the ante now, aren't
Well,
they?
they're saying come here, and you don't pay tax.
Yep.
You have to earn most of your money offshore.
What about healthcare though?
Well, here we go. Italy and Greece, you can use your Medicare card.
Australian Medicare
My
card.
wife had surgery 2 years ago in Italy. Surgeon in the hospital for a week. Medicare, no bill.
Wow.
There's a reciprocal relationship. Italians come here.
I
they
did
get the
not know
same.
that.
Yeah,
I did not know that. I thought there was one with Portugal.
There might be.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if there's not one with the UK. But I didn't know that until this happened. So there you go.
It was
Italy and
but
Greece.
you would have had travel insurance though,
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
you?
yeah. We did, and we thought, and then they said, no, we can take the Medicare card.
That's good. That's
Yeah, it
good
was
to
really
know.
good.
We were explaining in the previous podcast about retirement and places to live and the importance of having good healthcare wherever you go. You know, because that as you get older, it is important.
Yes.
Because when you need it, you need it.
Yes.
You know. So
Yeah.
yeah. So your wife's German, yeah?
Yep.
So does
Frankfurt.
that mean you can reside in Germany for an extended period of time?
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
get a visa for that. And
Okay.
so, yeah.
Is that? Did you say you were going to base yourself there, or?
Well, I've got a little place
Northern
there,
Italy.
but Northern Italy.
Oh,
Italy's
it's
beautiful.
gorgeous, isn't it?
You went skiing.
I went to Livigno.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little sign up the top there. Yeah,
Oh, Lavinia. Oh, very nice.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
They know how to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Great
there.
wine.
I was there 3 days and then did my knee.
Oh,
Day 3.
really?
Yeah, Mav ploughed into me.
Bloody kids.
Bloody kids. It's like there's plenty of snow over there,
Yeah.
mate. Yeah,
They're like
he's-
a dog.
Yeah, just trying to
Why do you have to be so close
just
to
trying to
me?
be my dad. Yeah, yeah. Caved my knee in, and that was the end of that for the.
So
So
did you stay up there, though?
well, I
after
had
that, or-
well, we sort of really had to. We were there for 11 days.
Yeah.
The downside was that Mav had to, snowboard by himself, which is pretty. It's not fun. It's better when you're snowboarding with other people. So it was
Yeah.
bad for him. But yeah, it was just one of those. It was one of those accidents. It was it was just another tale to tell at the at a dinner party. I suppose.
When you're hobbling in when you're 85, oh, my knee, it's not like it used to
I'd
be.
never- that's the
Ever
thing.
since that accident with Mav.
I've broken bones and I've got rods in my legs, but
Yeah.
I've never had issues with my knees, luckily. And it got bent inside out, and the knee and the kneecap dislocated.
Oh,
And I was stuck there for about 40 minutes before the
Rescues.
snow guys come up. Yeah, exactly. But as soon as they popped it out, it was like, oh, everything's fine until you go stand on it and it collapses in on itself. It's
Oh.
like, yeah, terrible. But my hat's off to the guys there.
but
They-
how long before you could walk on it?
I had a brace and I was walking within a couple of days without crutches.
Oh, yeah.
But total rehab, probably about six months. And the funny thing is, it's actually stronger than what it was prior
Oh,
to the
really?
injury, which is good.
Yeah,
because
okay.
you learn all these things about how to look after your knees and
Yeah.
how to do the exercise to
Yes.
strengthen them and stuff. And
Because you never did that before,
no,
did
exactly.
you?
No, you don't think about
It's
it.
just-
If it ain't broke, don't try to fix
I
it.
agree. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thanks, Mav, for breaking my knee.
No, Mav. No. No. That was it. It is a gorgeous place.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely gorgeous place. I love places covered in snow, but also, when they're not covered in snow, they're just as gorgeous.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
Queenstown. You went to Queenstown?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Many
exactly.
times.
What's one of the treks you do? You do Mount Cook.
Well, we don't do the summit of Mount Cook, but we do one of these staycations again. Oh, we do actually a couple of trips in New Zealand. So we do the Gillespie Pass.
Yeah, I
so
saw
we do
that.
Mount Cook, and then we go further south, do Gillespie Pass into the Siberia Valley, and then down to the I think it's the Wilkes River. And then we jet boat out of there and then back to Queenstown. So that's like a normal trek, like we stay in mountain huts and
Yep.
stuff. New Zealand's got heaps of them. And then, but this one we've got coming up this year is a luxury trip. So we'll go to the Hermitage at Mount Cook
Oh, gorgeous.
and stay there. And then we just do day trips. And then one day we'll chopper up to the glacier and do glacier hikes and stay overnight in the hut and then back down again. And then we're going to drive back to the Wilkes River and then catch a plane from there into Siberia Valley and then walk out again and take the jet boat and then back to Queenstown. So,
That sounds insane.
yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done that before, though. You've
yeah,
done
yeah.
that trip. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that area.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Mount Cook apparently though has gone crazy with people. Like just so many people want to go there.
There's still people die on Mount Cook too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really dangerous mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
And really technical mountain. So that's where Sir Edmund Hillary cut his teeth.
I was
so to
actually,
speak.
in my research for today's episode, I was doing a lot of TikToking, looking at
of course.
for some reason, I get a lot of videos of Everest and treks
Oh,
to
do you?
Everest.
Yeah. Right.
And, guys that were dead on the side of the mountain, and then just the amount of rubbish up there, and B, just the crowds. It's just insane. It's just insane. You've never been a mountaineer.
No.
No. Is it something that obviously you've never desired? That you got to be a different breed of person, don't you? You got to be a
Yeah.
different. You
Yeah,
got
I
to be
think
cut
so.
from a different cloth.
Yeah, I mean the guys who are doing the big ones, like not at Everest, because I mean Everest is a big one, yeah. But you and I could do Everest now.
I
You know
could.
what I mean?
I couldn't.
Well, maybe. But I don't know, but you know what I mean. You don't have to have any technical skill as long as you've got the right company to take you.
Good guys.
But if you're going to do K2 or any of these technical mountains, then we couldn't do it because you need to have the technical skills.
Okay, which you're only going to get by climbing mountains.
Climbing mountains
yeah,
with ropes and
that's
stuff.
the only way you're
that's
going to get
not
it.
what I do.
Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't appeal to me that just the extremes and the shit. I'm getting older now, and things are scaring me more. You know, it's like
But I reckon it's weird. Don't you reckon it's weird that when you're young, you take risks,
no fair.
but you've got, so let's say you're 20 and you're going to live to 85, let's say. So you've got 65 years of life that you're risking
Offshore.
of losing
Yes,
by being risky,
yes.
but you still do it. But the older we get, the less risky we get, but we've got less time to lose.
It doesn't make sense.
It's like, should be flipped.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we should be more risky now because, look, I've only got 20 years to go.
You don't know what you got until it's gone.
Yeah,
Hey,
true. Well, if you're dead, then you won't know.
that's the thing about being dead. It's like being
For a long time.
it's like being stupid.
Yeah, only affects
Yeah, it's
those who are left behind.
Exactly.
That's right. Or those around. Yeah, that's right. That's a great line.
no. You're right. You're right. It's the insanity of it. But like I've said prior, like my number's like 65.
Oh.
And the reason why I say 65 is that I want to achieve everything before 65, and then anything else after that is a bonus.
So how old are you?
So the theory, I'm 53.
Yeah.
So, you start equating the time that you have left to how many more winters have I got? How many more
Yeah, yeah.
summers have I got? How many more days on the boat? How many more holidays?
Yeah.
So that thought pattern creeps in. Well, it creeps in. It's how I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not doomsdaying. It's been realistic and equating time to experiences and adventures. And I don't want to be going to my deathbed with money in the bank, and nice cars in the shed. That's not what I'm going to be thinking about. In my last days, I'm going to be thinking about the mountains I climbed, or the experiences I had, or the sunsets. That's the type of stuff you want to.
So it motivates you.
Oh, for sure, and like the reason why we're sitting there today, the reason why Leeward exists is because I want to make the best out of the time that I have left, and I want people to understand that. Just like you said before, as we get older, we take less risk, but we've got less time left.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying.
So we should be speeding up.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying
we should be doing more.
What I'm saying is just don't put off. Don't put off what you can do today.
Yes.
Don't put it off for tomorrow, because tomorrow might never come. Book that trip. Go see that location. Go spend time with your family.
Yes.
Tell them that you love them. It's as I said, the time that we have is not guaranteed. It's not a given. So Leeward's all about how to live a better life. Yes. And it doesn't matter whether you're my age or whether you're 40 or whether you're 30. It's like have a look at the bigger picture. I mean, sure, everybody goes through life. They go through their teenage years, out of school, they get work, and then you're looking at relationships, you're looking at family, you're looking at buying houses. Sure, that's a natural progression for a lot of people in life. People have different versions of that. But as you say, the time that we do have it's not a given. It's not written in stone, and you should take the opportunities to do those things that make you happy and make you content and reward you for living life.
Yes. And it's not being selfish.
Well, sometimes, I've said this previously, sometimes you do have to be selfish.
Yeah, but it's not. In the end, like for example, let's say you really had this burning desire to go hiking in Japan, for example.
Yeah.
But you didn't do it because your partner's not interested in it, and you got the mortgage and the kids are this and that and that. But all the while you're being miserable because this is something that you really want to do. So by not being selfish, you're making yourself miserable and everyone around you. But by being selfish, right, then you go and do the Japan and you come back a more interesting and happier person and therefore you're giving in the end.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I did Mount Fuji with a buddy, and I paid his airfare
Yeah, right.
because I didn't want to do it by myself.
Yeah, cool.
I don't have a problem traveling by myself.
Yeah.
But the one problem I do have is experiencing something by
Sharing it.
myself
Yeah.
and not sharing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's really
You know,
cool.
you know, I've sat on the beach at the dawn of the 2000s in Hawke's Bay, which was the second or third place in the world to see the sun come up. You know, in the new millennia.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. You can't buy that experience. You can't. Money doesn't buy. You can't buy stuff like that. And sure, it takes a commitment and effort to experience it and to be there and to put yourself in that place. But that's where the reward.
Yeah.
That's where the reward comes with a lot of traveling. As I said, like even going down the side alley in a busy city and having a meal at a restaurant that doesn't have English menus and you don't know what the fuck you're ordering.
Yeah.
You know, that's living. That's otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, what's the point?
That's a good adventure. A friend of mine, he's a chef, and when he goes out, he never orders off the menu. He just tells the waiter to tell the chef to cook whatever he wants for him.
Do you think
That's cool.
Do you think the chef in the kitchen thinks he's a wanker for doing that, or,
No, I
or do you
reckon-
reckon the chef goes, "Oh, somebody that appreciates
Yeah.
what I can do"?
Yeah.
You reckon that's the way?
I mean, it's not going to go down to the local Chinese place. And
No.
like they're probably
No,
you know,
exactly. He's not going to get
nice places.
sweet and sour chicken.
No.
Sweet and sour pork.
Oh,
Just the
it
colour.
lunchtime yet?
Just is it the MSG that gives it that orangey
Oh,
glow?
no.
to-
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know. But I
MSG.
don't mind it. MSG, love it.
Hey, pause that for a minute. I've got a quote that I want to pull up. Just bear with me. It's an Anthony Bourdain one.
Oh, Anthony Bourdain. He's good.
Don't you fucking miss him?
I don't really miss him, but he's
No?
quite good. I sometimes get ChatGPT to write things in the style of Anthony Bourdain.
Is it come out how you think it?
Yeah, he's always, edgy and always revolves back to food.
It was sad about how we
Oh, yeah.
bear with me. Famous quote. I had it saved as a screenshot. Please hold, call it. Fuck.
Do you need your glasses?
No. It's just there's so many of them. I'm just trying to find the right one because it was the one about like have the cream sauce. Fucking
Oh, yeah.
that was one particular one. Here we go.
You got it?
Yeah. I'm not going to put my glasses on either. You ready? Are you recording, Matt? Or Matt? Sorry. I didn't stop recording. No, you didn't. All right. Yeah. Cool. So I've got a quote here from Anthony Bourdain.
Mm-hmm. God bless him.
Yeah. God rest his soul. This resonates with me, and it should do with a lot of people. He was an absolutely stunning human being. He had a great existence too. It was sad in the end. So he says, eat at the local restaurant tonight. Get the cream sauce. Have a cold pint at 4:00 in a mostly empty bar. I enjoy that very much. Go somewhere you've never been. Listen to someone you think maybe have nothing in common with you. Order the steak rare. Eat an oyster. Have a Negroni. Have two. Be open to a world where you may not understand or agree with the person next to you, but have a drink with them anyway. Eat slowly. Tip your server. Check in on your friends. Check in on yourself, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
That
Nice.
pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And his show's amazing.
Oh, indeed. I've watched and rewatched them. You know,
He's got a travel company. Did you know that?
I
Or
did
he
not
had a
know.
travel company
I did not.
called Temple and something. Forgot what- And so, and they take you on a trip to, say, Italy or India or whatever, and you eat at the most amazing places, and you go with the chef to the market, and it's bloody expensive though. Like
Yeah,
10,
I can
10
imagine.
grand for
I can imagine.
5 days or something.
Is that something that you would like to experience?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah?
It'd be fantastic. And you stay in the best places and stuff. But you get access to incredible people, you know. So if you're a foodie,
Are you a big? Do you classify yourself as a foodie?
well, I love food. And
Don't we all?
Yeah, I love eating great food. So I guess I'm a bit of a foodie.
Yeah. Do you? But it's not like you seek it out. It's not because a lot of people when they go to a destination, as you say, it's like going to the local market.
Yeah.
You know, and then experiencing a great restaurant. You know, I'm not talking about Michelin stars. I'm just
No.
talking about
You don't need a Michelin star, do
No,
you?
no,
You
no,
know?
not at all.
So yeah, I often will try to find what the locals at. You know, like for example, in our Dolomites trip, we start and finish in Verona, and on the last night we actually go and eat in a person's house.
Oh, perfect.
You know, and so we turn up there with 10 people. We've just got the table with outside under the big tree. We have some spritzes, and then she brings out just her local dishes, you know, that she's been making for the day. You know,
ca- you
no one
can't-
knows what they are.
You can't buy those. You can't.
Oh, and I
can
tell
you?
you, some of those nights go on.
I bet you they do.
Like the wine comes out, and there's
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
It's one thing they know how to do is
Yeah,
make good
yeah.
wine, don't they?
yeah. So I love great food, and I love cooking. I'm a very big cooker at home.
Good to
So,
hear.
Become a master pizza maker
Right.
since COVID.
What sort of pizza oven did you buy?
The Gosney,
Oh,
they're amazing.
yep.
I just bought the little rock box.
Yep.
If I was staying here, I'd buy the dome. They're a big, beautiful one. But it's perfect. You know, you can take it with you and all that sort of stuff. But it bangs out a pizza in 60 seconds. And
How good's
Love it.
that?
yeah, I love it. You know, it takes a couple of days to make the dough. And
Well, that's part of the process, isn't it?
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do it. I really enjoy it. And kids love it. Wife loves it, which is the most important thing.
Happy wife.
Exactly. So yeah, I love food.
Mate, I really appreciate your time today. It's always a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thanks for inviting me, Brendan.
Man,
It's always good to see you too. You're
I'm just,
looking well.
I'm real. Thank you very much. You're looking fit as a fiddle. It's it is sad to hear that you're not going to be here. You're moving away, but I'm sure we could tee something up. Maybe I'll come see you. Yeah. Hey.
Lured on the road.
Exactly. Lured live.
Lured live.
Yes.
You can do that too nowadays.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we just take a microphone anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's do it on the top of the Dolomites.
Oh, you're in.
Isn't
Really?
lured live a bit of an oxymoron though? Lured live, lured live until I die live. Does that make sense?
No. What the hell's he on? What's he on? No,
Hey, what's a destination that you haven't been to that you really want to go to? Is there something on your hit list that you haven't ticked off yet? Because I'm sure you've still got a list that needs to be ticked.
yeah. Well, I don't have bucket lists or anything, but there's a lot of places that I want to go to. There's a lot of places that I don't know that I don't know about that I'm sure I want to go to. Like I haven't been to Croatia, for example, and that looks amazing.
Of course, yeah.
You can imagine all the different islands and what have you. So, but I want to go to Jordan. I'd actually like to go to Israel once it's all
You want
everything's
to
fixed up.
let the dust settle on that one,
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
you?
But I'd love to go to Jerusalem and all those sort of ancient places. Yeah, there's lots of places in Italy I'd still want to go to. Yeah, there's like I haven't been to Bhutan. Wouldn't mind going there. Lots of places in India I haven't been to. US, I want to do a big road trip in the US. Like 6 months.
Yeah.
Driving around.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be really cool. And go to places like Zion National Park and
I was just thinking
Monument National
just thinking
Park.
barbecue. That's
Barbecue.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Just barbecue.
Barbecue.
You just go from barbecue to
Yeah.
barbecue to barbecue.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all you'd have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's lots of stuff.
Hmm.
I don't want to ever run out, mate.
No, well,
I don't think I will.
I don't think
run out.
I don't think you will. I mean, you've got a lot of good years in the tank, you know. And as you say, you're just going to keep discovering these places and then and then ticking them off your list. And the great thing about what you do is that you're not afraid to tell your travel stories and to let people know exactly where you've been and what you've done, because in that instance, you're bestowing your travel wisdom onto those that appreciate it and want it, you know.
Yeah.
So
I want to share it with
Oh, for
people,
sure.
you know.
Yeah. You're not going to be selfish about it.
Well,
and
some
keep it to
places
yourself.
maybe I can,
Yes, I agree with that.
A couple of little places I don't want anyone to know about.
Sometimes it's out of your hands, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah, as soon
It's
as
out
it
of your
gets
hands.
on Insta, then they're
So
gone.
for anybody that's listening today, noroads.com.au,
Yeah.
all the information on all the destinations is on your website.
Yeah.
All the information about what type of trips they are is there.
Yeah.
You've got info night scheduled. You've got, and of course, you've got your merch store and bits and pieces in there. So for anybody listening, go to there, check it out. And I hope they do. And I hope anybody that's listening to this makes the decision to book a trip with you guys, or to book a trip.
Book a trip.
Book a trip.
Whether it's with us or somebody else, but go
Exactly.
and do what you really want to go
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
Go and do that trip that you've always wanted to do. Whether it's a cruise or a hike or a flop and drop or whatever, just go do it.
Don't put it off.
I mean, the time's ticking, man.
Yeah, man. We're running out.
We're running out of time.
We're all running
That's
out
the
of
one
time.
thing that we don't have much of.
No, exactly. Wise
And you
words.
can't buy it.
No.
the
Money.
only thing you can't
Exactly.
buy.
Money doesn't buy that sort of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man, once again, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Brendan.
I really appreciate it.
Good on you, mate.
That's a wrap, Matt.
Oh, I'm going to say, yeah, good on you, buddy. Oh.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in and for your time. You know the vibe, I'm steady living until I die. It's a loose state of mind, and we showed you that. Keep it authentic and real, I hope you coming back. Hey, make sure that you subscribe, cause we got it popping all the time, and it's going down. If you wanna elevate, wanna live a better life, keep it locked here. You know it's a lewd state of mind, let's go.